welcome back to Sugar Beats. Love you guys, and I've got a really special guest here today. This is Gwendelynn Martindale.
I am a production assistant.
A production assistant.
Which works on the assistant director's team.
Okay, so she's a production assistant on Chosen, which obviously you guys know what Chosen's about, most of you. And if you haven't seen it yet, you're going to be watching it after this episode, I guarantee you.
Absolutely.
I wasn't really that familiar with it when we first talked a month or two ago. So obviously I looked it up, started watching some episodes, and it's really done well. And I mean, quality-wise, camera-wise, everything, it's really done well. And so would you explain a little bit of, what Chosen is, just in a real general form?
The Chosen is...
Oh, The Chosen. Sorry about that, guys.
It's a multi-season TV show. It has like 8 episodes per season. It's about the disciples and the life of Jesus. It's told from a very unique perspective. It's very personal, interactive, realistic, and just beautifully done. So you're going to love it. Yeah,
it looked great to me. It really did. So how did you get involved with it? What was the genesis of you actually being involved with The Chosen?
I was working for Adam Drake, my boss, for the first time on a film called Indivisible, which is about a military chaplain. And while I was on that show, I got an email that said, "Would you like to come help us with our church's Christmas short film?" And I had no idea who the person was that emailed me. I wish I did, because I would like to thank them. But I was like, sure, I'm actually home that week, because there was like 2 weeks between filming in Memphis, Tennessee, and out in California for the desert scenes on this military film. Okay. So I was home during those 2 weeks of that filming. So I was like, that's interesting. That lines up. And so I was like, sure, what's it about? Who's it by? I didn't know anything. And they sent me the script, and it's like, oh, it's by Dallas Jenkins. I saw him give a speech at a film festival, and it was really good.
Oh, wow.
And so I read it, and I was like, yes, I'm in. So I work on his Christmas short film, and then it took off. It went viral. People got interested in it, and it became a TV series. We did the first 4 episodes not knowing if it was going to go anywhere, or if it would take off, but it did.
So what was that church short film called?
The Shepherd.
The Shepherd.
Mm-hmm.
And were you an actress in there, or were you something else? Or
I was more of a wild card PA.
Wild card PA.
Yes, it's a fun role to be in. It's basically anything and everything that needs to be done to help make things run smoothly.
Okay.
At one point, I was up in the kitchen cleaning some things up or getting someone coffee, and I hear over the walkies, like, "We need the sheep brought into Bethlehem." And, we're filming in Chicago. No offense, but most of the people from Chicago don't know how to deal with animals, apparently.
Yes, that's very true.
And I was hearing, instead of copy that, flying in, all the normal stuff, it was, "I don't know anything about sheep. Do they bite?" And I was like, oh, dear. And I was like, I'll be right down. So I go there, I put the sheep in the pen. No big deal. I've done this hundreds of times, and apparently they liked that, so.
So you got the reputation of being a good sheep wrangler.
I guess so.
And is that the genesis then that they said, okay, now we're going to do this bigger, expanded, instead of just a shepherd, we're going to actually do the Chosen?
Mm-hmm.
And so they remembered you and they called you, or did you have to still reach out to them?
Dallas gave me the opportunity to come on and work on it when it became a thing, so I'm very grateful for that.
So he gave you a call?
Yeah.
Personally?
Well, he texted me and said he wanted to give me an opportunity to work on it. So obviously I said yes, and I'm so glad that I'm grateful to work on it. It's a meaningful project. It's the ripple effects from it are astounding. My brain can barely wrap around it.
What's it like to work with Dallas?
Oh, he's fun.
Yeah?
He likes his green tea.
Green tea.
Mm-hmm.
Any sugar in it?
Nope.
No sugar at all.
No,
okay.
No. He's very healthy and health conscious. He has all these special things that he does to keep himself sharp and directing the creative vision of it.
Now, does that translate into like craft service where they only have like Cliff Bars or something?
Oh, absolutely. There's some special foods. Jonathan loves his coffee. That reminds me, it's like when I first started working in film, I did not know anything about coffee.
Okay.
And Jonathan once asked, he plays Jesus.
Oh, okay.
He asked me for this very specific type of coffee. This was like on the first 4 episodes. And I was like, And I was like trying to remember these words like latte, blah, blah, blah. It's like I didn't even know what he was saying. And I was like, note to self, learn how to make coffee.
Yeah.
So I have.
Do you use like oatmeal milk or almond milk?
And I do all of it.
Oh, wow. You're amazing.
We love our coffee on film sets. Almost as much as military people, but not quite.
And when you're on the film set, is it like a 9 to 5 job, or do you start early, or how long does it go normally when you're doing a shoot day?
It's a minimum 12-hour day.
Wow.
Unless we have a short day for some odd reason.
So why is it so long?
I don't know. We like our sunsets and our sunrises. That's like the best time to film.
Oh, okay.
It takes a while to get things set up and everything. So to make the most time of like the actual filming and rolling time, I guess.
Oh, that makes
to make
sense.
it a long day is the most productive.
So you're not actually in a production building. You're actually outside, of course. That makes sense. And so you're trying to capture the best light for the film during those periods of time.
Essentially, yeah. It's a biblical time period piece. So, I mean, it's all about hot, dusty roads for the most part. I've learned how to deal with the Texas heat.
Oh, it's filmed in Texas?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Most of it's filmed in Texas. Some of it's filmed in Utah. So
Okay.
you see some beautiful mountains in there. And
So what part of Texas?
it's right underneath the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
So you can still go like to Fort Worth and get the big, huge beef ribs, all you can eat for like $20. You can do that.
We have fun on the weekend.
How many people are on the set? Because obviously, if you're an associate producer or a producer's assistant, is an assistant production?
Production assistant.
Production assistant. You're dealing with lots of people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how many are on the set usually?
Around 70.
70?
Yeah, give or take, depending on the day.
That's a lot of people.
Takes a big team.
And probably half of those are actors, the other half are support staff kind of thing, or?
No. The actors depend on the day. Sometimes there's only one actor, 3.
Wow.
Sometimes like all dozen disciples.
Wow.
Sometimes
The actors have it the best. They only show up when they want to, right? Is that how it works?
That's different. They have
Okay.
to do their lines. They have a lot of preparing to do for the short time where they're doing their scene.
Okay.
So they do have their work cut out for them as well. It's just different.
That makes sense then. So when you're actually got the cameras rolling, they may only be on site or on that set certain days and everything, but they're still making sure that they are completely prepared so when the camera turns on, they're ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Who's your favorite actor in the thing so far?
Okay, that's a hard question to answer because there's a certain amount of set etiquette where you don't actually talk to the actors a lot
Okay.
unless they talk to us and things like that. So I haven't gotten to spend a lot of time with them.
Okay.
Giovanni is very kind. He's a very nice person.
Okay.
Liz impressed me straight from the beginning before I even met her because I was at the upper parking lot where they come in for their trailers, and she was 15 minutes early, went straight to her trailer, no fuss, and I was like, wow. I was like, okay, I like her. Yeah, they're all different aspects or stories I could tell about them.
Sure.
They're great people.
I'm sure they all are. And I always look at the best in people, and I'm finding every individual has their life story to tell. They have things to share.
Oh,
And
yes.
that's why I find it exciting of why some people were more attracted to than others, not because the other people repel us, but there's just something in the core of a human being sometimes that's like, that's interesting,
Mm-hmm.
or wow, or, there's something there. And I always find it interesting when I find out, okay, what did you really, I'm not looking for clicks. I'm not looking to badmouth anybody as much as who really shone from your perspective, while you're working with them. That was the main goal with the whole question.
They're amazing people.
Okay.
It's a great team. They're all very professional. It's when you work with someone for 12 or more hours a day, it's important to pick the right people to work with, and they've
Sure.
definitely put together a good team. These people are amazing. They're fun
That's
to work
great.
with. We even hang out together on the weekends,
Okay.
and I think that's fairly unusual to want to hang out with the people that you work with all
Okay.
week on the weekends.
Wow. I never thought of that. That's really great. Now, what's your favorite animal on the set? Since you're a wrangler, what's your favorite animal or animal group?
Well, I've assisted with the animals. I was assistant animal wrangler in the first 4 episodes, and I help out every once in a while.
Do they have a horse named Trigger like they did for
They have a horse
Roy
named
Rogers
Blue.
or anything? Blue?
I like
Okay.
Blue. Blue is a very nice horse. You'll see her in the background sometimes. A super tall Roman rides this little blue horse. It looks better than I'm describing, but
Well, it probably makes him look even more massive and more intimidating.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, that's why I like that. I like that a lot.
Favorite animal? I like the doves.
Really? Oh, tell me about
Yeah,
that.
I actually owned the first dove that was used in that first episode that you saw, one that flies up over above.
What's the dove's name?
I named it Dallas.
No way.
Couldn't think of anything else to name it. I was like, we're in Dallas.
I got to tell you, I really, when you see these period pieces, especially, obviously we're all technology now with cars and everything else, but back then animals were almost part of the family in a lot of ways. They were the ones carrying the burdens. They were, the family pets until you ate them, that kind of stuff. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, they add so much to it.
Yeah, it's a great texture, to the whole period. So,
And doves apparently have an evil laugh as well.
no way.
It's very funny. The first time I heard it, I was like, is that a guinea or something? Because they sent me to go pick them up, and I was like, what is that noise? And they have this very evil laugh. It's utterly ridiculous.
Can you do the laugh?
Sorry. But you can look it up.
Okay, we'll have to look that up. But
It reminds you of a gremlin.
oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah, don't keep them up after midnight. Growing up, you probably had visions of what you might want to be in life and things like that. What were those original goals, and then how did you? Maybe you always want to do exactly what you're doing, or maybe how did you get into what you're doing?
I knew I liked photography.
Okay.
Straight out of the gate, it's like I loved photography. My brother actually had a camera, a little point and shoot camera, and I would borrow it and I would go take pictures of my sheep running around the field. And taking a picture of a running sheep is not easy, especially with a point and shoot camera. But I knew I loved photography, so as soon as I could, I invested in my first camera.
Okay.
I practiced it. There was this film festival that started up. Actually, one of the dads at the church that I attended, he had this organization called Media Talk 101.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And there was this major Christian film festival in Texas that ended. And so there was this open spot that people were like not sure what was going to happen next. So he's like, we're going to start up our own film festival.
I love it.
And so I was there from the beginning of CWVFF and with the Telfers, and we had no idea what we were doing. I was just there to help and learn, since I was like, I think I want to do this film thing.
So how old were you at that point?
15, 16.
Oh, okay. So you're in
17
high school age. Okay.
Yeah, I made my first official short film when I was 20.
Okay.
Yeah, the film festival was excellent. Helped get me the right start, connected me with the right people. I saw Dallas give his speech at this Christian Worldview Film Festival.
Okay.
So that introduced me to the right people and taught me the basics of what I needed to know to get started.
And then from that point, you had the bug and you just had to do it.
Just have to do it.
I love it. You said Christian Film Festival. Is that different than just regular film festivals? Is there something special or a reason why it's a niche rather than just, because I know there's Christians in the film arts everywhere.
Oh, there's all kinds of film
I
festivals.
was wondering why there's a special kind of niche there. Is that to give support and aid, or is that so that like-minded people have more of an opportunity, or what's that all about?
It's about like-minded people and the goals for it. There is a very stark contrast, seems to be, in the industry of people that are either in it for themselves or in it for something that they value more, or they want to be doing something meaningful or something like that. Not that the other things aren't meaningful, but the motivation behind what you do, there can be a lot of difference.
So what have you seen is this? Well, have you ever been in the non-Christian film industry at all?
Oh yeah, there's a huge mix.
I'm not a very religious guy, but I love Jesus a lot, and I love his people. I love the Bible. I love exploring how different people view God, and multiple denominations, things like that. And I find it interesting how, for quite a while, it was just the assumption that everyone in America was a Christian kind of thing, and then it got to be, well, not everyone is, and now it's like, well, maybe not a lot are, and so I'm seeing a shift in our culture. And I haven't shifted at all. I started loving Jesus when I was 19. I'm almost 59 now, so that's 40 years worth of time. And I was just curious because, for a while there was the Christian music industry that was gaining strength. I don't know if it still has that or not. but I still knew Christians that were in the secular industry that were doing fine. So I wasn't aware of maybe the message has to be different if it's secular, then it can't be as strong Christian wise, or maybe it's just like-minded people, or that's why I'm just curious because the quality is good. One thing I've always noticed with Christian endeavors is, well, not always. Some of them are really fantastically done. This is a blanket statement. It's not
Sure.
everybody, because there's several movies that I just was floored by, but in general, it seems like the budgets are much lower and the attention to the actual quality of it being done is not the main priority as much as the message getting out.
And that's changing, and I think that's definitely something The Chosen has shown is like, because it's a Christian movie doesn't mean that it's bad quality.
Right.
And I think that they have challenged that viewpoint that is, somewhat is like, there's a reason why people think, oh no, it's a Christian movie, I don't want to watch that. And then it's like, then they hear about The Chosen and they're like, it's like, what is this? This is different.
Right.
And it has definitely been improving in quality, and people are honing in their craft, and we're learning from each other.
Right. I'm not even sure I would classify. Obviously, if Christians are doing it, it's a Christian movie and stuff like that. I don't want to discount that in any way, but I see it as a biblical movie. So it's almost like it's got a wider perspective, because it's really taking, okay, what does Scripture actually say, and then from that, we don't negate that ever, but we just try to make sure we can broaden the experience. We're taking some liberties, but never to contradict what the Word of God says. And so I would say that it's more of a biblical movie, and that it seems to me very friendly to anyone that likes the Bible.
Yeah, it's historically accurate.
Very friendly.
It's biblically based. It's got a lot of plausible and cultural storylines in it that help you understand different
and
aspects
some great
of
actors.
It. Oh, yes.
I was shocked. I mean, because we do filming and stuff a little bit here. And so, and what I do, I always want to push people forward. And when I seen that, I'm like, wow, kudos. That's as good as I would ever want to watch. I mean, not that it couldn't improve, but the acting's great. The quality's great. And I'm like, wow. That's one reason I wanted to just ask, because,
I should add that
it's hard to say,
I should add that the Chosen is a Christian production, but the people that work on it and everything aren't necessarily. It's a huge mix of people I work with.
Okay.
Atheists and all sorts of different kinds of people. They hire who's ever right fit for the job.
Right. Well, I do the same thing, although, I kind of do like a lot of Christians. They're all sinners, but I still kind of like that, I talk Christianese once in a while, and they understand that language. And a lot of people that aren't in the Christian circles don't understand that language as much.
Yeah.
It seems like odd, and it's like, and I understand because it is odd. It's peculiar, but
I think that'd be like a great question for one of the producers. I'm sure they definitely have their thoughts on that answer. I'm technically an employee of them, so I can't speak for the production. But I work with these people, and they are amazing.
And by the way, I'm not asking you to speak for The Chosen.
Oh, yes.
Obviously, this is not the goal. I wanted to find out about you, and I was excited to hear that you're, an associate producer.
Production assistant.
However you phrase that. Sorry about that. I do it wrong every single time.
It's like running around in the background and putting fires out, although usually not literal ones.
Well, yeah, I'm so glad for you, and you're young yet. You've got a large part of your life still ahead of you, which is great. How can people encourage you and the people that are working with you? Is there, obviously there was a big crowdfunding at the very beginning to help get some money, and you got millions of people watching it. Is there other things that people can be doing to kind of encourage you and encourage the team that you're working with?
They can pray for it. I mean, right now we're in pre-production for the next season. So that's actually one of the most important times.
Okay.
It's like the planning that goes into like when we're actually there on the ground doing the work.
Okay.
It's like it makes everything run smoothly. So it's often overlooked part of production because everybody's about the release of the episode or like the actual filming of it. But the pre-production is insanely important.
Right.
So you can pray for the project in general as we go back to filming the next season here in a month.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. Man, that's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I appreciate it. Are you still looking to add more staff possibly on, or you kind of got the people set right now?
That's not up to me.
Because if
I
you're
would
looking
love...
for a slightly overweight man,
Hey, anybody can audition. Anybody can audition.
I'm messing with you. I don't want to do that. Even if I could do it, I don't think I'd do it.
Well, for the feeding of the 5,000, we had 5,000 extras on set for more than one day.
Wow.
A lot of the extras for those were actually investors in The Chosen.
Okay.
So, like on the app, there's this pay it forward program where you can pay for somebody like in another country or something to see the show or fund future episodes because it's largely crowdfunded. It's very unique in the business setup of it. So that's one way monetarily you can support The Chosen.
So you guys have an app.
Yeah, we have
How
our
did
own
I
app.
miss that? What am I doing? Where's my research team?
You don't have to pay for it. It's free. You just download the app and you can cast it to your TV and watch it.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
That's great.
it's pretty professional.
So you don't even have to wait for like a major studio or major broadcast company or something to make an agreement to show it. You can just literally show it everywhere all the time.
I understand it's on Netflix. I don't
Is
have
it?
Netflix, but I understand it's there too.
Okay.
I know it's on Amazon Prime.
Thank you, Netflix. That's great.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you wanted to share?
Did you want any more technicals of like what it's like on set?
I definitely want more technicals on what it's like on set.
Okay. Like a basic run through the day or how the jobs work?
So, Gwendelynn, what is a day like, a typical day for you on set?
Well, the first thing I do is I get the sides and call sheets. So that's something that Adam and a couple other people are involved. They make this plan for the day.
Okay.
And it tells us what scene we're doing, how many pages. You know, you hope for it's like more like a 4 or 6 page day, but sometimes it's a lot more, a lot less, depending.
Okay.
And it has the scripts attached to the sign. And so I hand those out to the different people. Everybody has the specific one they want. Some people want the ones with large print. A lot of them want the little ones they can stick in their pocket. So I hand all those out to the people that need them.
Okay.
And then I get to set 15 minutes before general crew call. So we're all this cafeteria, we have breakfast, and then we go to set. So I'm there getting stuff ready, helping people get stuff landed where they're supposed to go. I have about 4, 5, 6, depending PAs that I position in different areas to help things go smoothly.
Okay.
So I have to understand how the set works and where would be the most advantageous place to delegate things.
Okay.
A lot of times my job is just making sure that somebody doesn't walk past this door. I'm going to ruin films for you, absolutely ruin them.
Okay.
Every time you see an open doorway or something in the background, there is a PA standing back there, making sure someone doesn't accidentally walk past that door that isn't in costume when we're filming. That's the biggest part of our job is just making sure that the background is clear of any accidental things like that.
So they weren't wearing ball caps back then, huh? Okay. Well, that's great.
So that's a big part of it. I put different PAs on different lockups. There's this one story I do like to tell.
Okay.
It's about there's this new PA. He was an intern, and there was this lockup that needed to be done, and I knew it was the most boring lockup I could possibly give him. It was like way out in the field where nothing was happening, but there was this one Jenny out there, and I knew that at some point someone was going to turn on that Jenny when we were rolling, most likely, in it, because it does happen. We're all on different channels and stuff, and I was like, so I told him, it's like, this is a pretty boring lockup. This is probably the boringest lockup you're going to get. You could be standing out for 3 hours and nothing will happen. It's like, I'll switch them up.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, but if someone starts that up when we're rolling, and these are like long dialogue takes, it's like nobody's going to be able to get out there fast enough
Right.
to tell him to turn off. And he might not hear his walkie because that machine's loud. So it's like, it's a really boring lockup, but I need you out there just in case this happens. And so I'm trying to do my best to explain him why it's so important, because every job is very important.
Right. Right.
And it's not like you're not just a PA. It's like it's there for a reason, and this is how it works. So I put him on the most boring lockup you'd probably ever get, and about halfway to 3 hours into that scene, it starts up in the middle of the take, and he runs over there and tells him to shut it off. And he was so proud of himself. I was so happy. I was like, yes.
That's great. That's great.
So it's just helping things run smoothly and seeing where something potentially could go wrong. Or
Yeah. So, and some of this you're trained to do, and some of it's just by experience. You learn these things, and
yeah, I
So-
learned a lot from Adam and Mitch.
you have a boss, of course,
Yes.
because you're an assistant.
Yes.
So, are they decent to you? Or they treat you okay? They're all
very.
right? Okay, just want to make sure. And now, on the worst day you've had, well, first of all, what's the longest shoot day you've ever had?
Oh, I
'Cause
don't.
you said 12 hours.
Yeah,
It goes longer?
sometimes.
How much?
12 to 14 hours is normal.
Okay.
We can go over that.
By how much?
The first time I ever did a sunset to sunrise
Okay.
was one of my favorites. So that's a basic 12 hours. What is
Yeah.
it, between sunset and sunrise? The
Right.
first time I did that was on the Shepherd, and I was
Okay.
so excited. It's like most people are like, "Oh, you got to work all night. That must be terrible." And it's like, no, it doesn't make any difference
Right.
because it's 12 hours. It's like, who cares what part of the day it is? It's actually really fun at night, especially in Texas where it's warm.
Okay.
But first time sunset to sunrise, I was so excited. It's so much fun. Now, sometimes people just hope to be done this, like, let's just have a short day and we'll be done by like 1 a.m. or something like that.
Okay. Wow, that's amazing.
They had these Fridays that are all-nighters, so they go from Friday into Saturday, and some people hate them.
Okay.
I don't care because either way, I'm going to sleep in till noon on Saturday.
Sure.
I have this whole system to reset because Monday's usually an early call time and Fridays are usually all-nighters.
Oh, okay.
So if we've been working really hard all week during daytime hours, I'm exhausted from like the heat and the work, and I'm going to sleep until noon on Saturday.
Okay.
And if we film all night, Friday night into Saturday morning, I'm going to sleep until noon on Saturday, and then I'm going to get up at noon because I have to go to bed earlier,
Ah, okay.
a little earlier Saturday night, and then wake up a little earlier Sunday, go to bed at a decent time Sunday night so I can get up early on Monday night.
Okay.
There, I messed it up. Monday morning.
So are you filming mostly during the summer?
Mostly. We took a break around 4th of July. That's
Okay.
like the hottest time of the year.
Okay. Just curious because I know Texas gets like 100 degrees during the summer, maybe a little more, 105, 110 sometimes. And I see these actors and people, they're dressed in a lot of clothing. You know, it seems like there's, not only the headband.
It's
or the
surprisingly
headscarves and
comfortable,
stuff, but-
actually.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay.
I've been in costume a couple times, and it's actually very comfortable. It's like, why don't we still do this?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's cool. It's warm. It has airflow. It's actually extremely comfortable. I don't know why we
Oh.
don't dress like that anymore.
Okay.
There's sometimes I'd be like, I just wish I could wear a dress on set.
Yeah. Okay. So all you French designers out there, let's move back to the Middle East biblical time. What is it? Mostly just robes, right?
Surprisingly comfortable.
There you go.
You can
I
run
like
in them too, because I've had to run in them.
it. So you were an extra how many times?
Just a couple times. There was
Okay.
this one pawn shop scene where I was in. They needed a whole bunch of people lined up, and it was super early in the morning. Some people didn't show up for some reason, so it was like the set medic, me, a couple other people. It was crew, pretty much,
Oh,
that
great.
filled in the pawn shop scene. It was fun.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
So Chosen, we got a third season coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And when was it going to be
Fourth.
released? A fourth season coming up. Yeah, you guys are so prolific.
There's going to be 7 is the plan.
7.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to take a year rest on the 7th. That's a Sabbath joke.
I didn't
Sorry
think about that before. I might have to use that.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, it's free. You can use it anytime you want. But so yeah, 7 seasons. Okay, that's pretty good. I know, like with the Baldwins, they have lots of actors in their family. Is everyone in your family kind of moving into the film industry too? After
No.
seeing you so successful?
No, we have a wide variety. My dad is an electrical engineer.
Okay.
My mom worked at the post office and
Okay.
then is a stay-at-home mom. And my sister, she works at a call center, basically, for a plumbing company.
Okay.
Or no, she doesn't do that anymore. My brother-in-law works in Forex currency trading, very complicated stuff.
Wow.
my younger brother's going to be a pilot. Benjamin's an IT guy, and I am a photographer and filmmaker who also does animals and fiber arts.
That is probably one of the widest cloths I've ever seen for, different careers. That's amazing.
Keeps things interesting.
Yeah.
One of the things I noticed working on film sets is that my background in like just growing up on a farm and in the country, the skills that you get from growing up in the country and just being around animals is extremely useful in the film world. And I took that for granted a lot until I got there, and I was like, it's like, I didn't learn this for film. It's like, yes, this is how you hold a sheep so you don't get your face smashed. And it's like, but it's very helpful when you're on a film set.
I bet.
And you're preventing things from going wrong. Farm schools come in handy all the time.
Good. Well, I'm so grateful. I tell you what, I'm going to encourage everyone, please, if you can, check out The Chosen. And
download the app.
It's got 3 seasons, and they're filming the 4th one this summer. So pray for them. I would appreciate that. And I'm so grateful you came. I mean, we talk with comedians and other people. I think having your input with the way things happen with films and stuff like that is phenomenal. I love this.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.